Superman 1983-7 here. Just got a video response on the video I made for Sammy's Atari, question answered. This video response was more of a couple questions for me from a buddy of mine. Just wondering a few things, so I'm going to answer those questions for him today. Paco, I'll go through the questions you asked. First question was, what was I raised? Second one was, why did I become an atheist? Third one was, what religion almost has it? And third and final question was, why do I feel like making these videos? Am I trying to conform people, or am I just trying to make them open their eyes? Well, Paco, to answer your first question, I was born a baptized Protestant, and I was raised to go to church. My grandmother took me. My parents never really went a whole lot, but my grandmother took me quite a lot. I went to Park Royal Church. And second question was, why did I become an atheist? Well, it's kind of a long story, but what happened was, as you know, I got into a little bit of trouble when I was younger, and I ended up in jail. And when I ended up in there, one of the big things I want you to do is get your addictions, kind of in check. So what do you do when you go to addictions? Well, you go to meetings, you learn about higher power. When someone tells you to get a higher power, you usually turn to a god. And so I started looking into my higher power, and when I got in parole, I was going to meetings and stuff like that, and I was going to church, and I started reading the Bible, and the Bible made little to no sense to me whatsoever. If this is supposed to be something that I'm supposed to believe in wholeheartedly, then why are there so many fallacies in it? How am I supposed to believe this? Someone with my intellect, I can't get past someone turning a staff into a snake, or turning a river red, parting seas, Adam and Eve story, the story of Moses, all those things. I couldn't get past them. So I said, well, there's got to be someone out there. There's got to be a religion out there that knows what they're talking about. So I kind of went on a quest, and the quest led me to reading the Quran, KJV, and Book of Mormon. I read the scriptures of Buddha. I read passages of Krishna, and I couldn't make sense of any of them. They didn't have the kind of sound logic or something that I could believe in. And so I started studying it, and I couldn't believe in a religion. Not because I was lacking faith or anything like that. I had all kinds of faith. I didn't have the faith required to believe in a God. I had the space for faith, but I needed to be convinced of something, and I never got convinced. So I ended up reading all these holy books, and then after the holy books never answered my questions, I turned to the natural science of the world. And every question that the Bible or religion in any area of the world couldn't provide me, natural science provided me with. Why is this here? How does this happen? What happens to this when it dies? How long does it take to break down? Things like that. Where does someone go when they die? If you want to know where someone goes when they die and how long it takes them to decay, there's math problems for that. Exponential growth and decay. It's basic calculus. So I found that all the answers I was looking for weren't in Holy Scriptures. They weren't to be found anywhere. Deeper meanings, if you're looking for them, some people may find them in Holy Scriptures, but the problem is these deeper meanings are surrounded by fallacies and illogical references to where we began, or illogical references to how we start. And I couldn't take it anymore. So at first I went to agnostic, and then I went atheist, and then after reading all the books and the horrific things that they tell people to do, I went anti-theist. It's not that it's now that I don't believe in God, but I also took it one step further in saying that I really wish there isn't a God. For the simple fact that if this totalitarian tyrant actually exists, I really hope we don't have to ever listen to him, and I really hope he doesn't come to us and, you know, try to overthrow us with his rule, because what he preaches in this stuff is ridiculous. So you also ask, what religion almost has it? And I've read many religions, and I will tell you something, that there's not many religions, that there is no religion that has it. There's no religion that almost has the perfect word of God. There is none. There are violent religions, and then there are non-violent religions. Now, there are sections of Buddhism that are very, very, very peaceful, and there's also sections of Buddhists that are really, really not peaceful. You can look on the news now, Buddhists overthrew Islam and they're killing people left, right, and center. But there are sections of it that, you know, that are very peaceful. And I have no problem with peace. You can believe in any God you want if all it does is proclaim peace. Krishna is, you know, is one of those gods as well that, you know, does proclaim peace and has more of a scientific overtake on the religious aspect. But none of them have it right. None of them can provide me with any type of real explanation or back themselves up with solid fact to say that, you know, this is true, I can't refute it, but I can refute everything almost every religion states. Now on to your next question, Paco. Why do I feel like making these videos? Am I trying to conform people, or am I just trying to make them open their eyes? The reason I'm making these videos is because I was, a while ago, someone of faith. I believed in God, and I believed that He was here to help us. And after I read the Bible, the Roman Catholic Bible, hundreds of interpretations of the Christian Bible, the Quran, you know, scriptures of Buddha, I couldn't find anything. And I've read them to the point where I understand the message, and I understand what they're trying to get across, and I understand that it's a very opaque beginning. We can't stem a good nature from these writings. We can't. We can take a fairly good side and a horrible nature from listening and understanding and following the word of these gods, and we could be totalitarian tyrants as well, which some people do. But I feel there's a lot of people out there that were like me, that were of faith, but had no idea what their faith was, had no idea what their faith entailed. So I try to tell people what I believe their faith entails, and what I have read, and what I see that their faith entails. Now, mind you, everybody says, well, you know, bad points in the Bible, they're interpretations, right? Like, it's a metaphor for meaning something else. And some people are very strong in that aspect of their view, but you have to understand that 150 to 160 years ago, before Darwin or anything like that, there was no interpretations or metaphors within the Bible. It was the spoken, unjudged, written word of God. But now that we're a little bit smarter and we understand things a lot better, it's not like that anymore. So am I trying to conform people? I guess, yeah, in a way I kind of am. I'm trying to tell people that lack the knowledge of their own beliefs that this is what your book tells you, this is what it states, this is what you should do if this happens. You know, this is what women look like in the eyes of your God. This is how you should treat a thief. This is how you should, you know, if you're in a war and you have to, if you want to win that war, you can sacrifice this or you can sacrifice that. And, you know, there's nothing in there that tells you how to prevent a war or peaceful endings to a war or anything like that. So yeah, I'm trying to conform people, and at the exact same time I'm trying to open their eyes that their religion is a very broad aspect of morality. Their aspect or their gauge of their moral compass based on these scriptures scare me. Because if you base morality off such hateful teachings and try to bestow these same teachings onto your children, and say your children decide to do the one thing that you didn't do and read the book, actually read it, and find out that, well, God likes baby killings, God likes to kill animals for things, God likes to promote slavery. If you're in the qur'an, little things can get you whipped, stoned, burned, and hands cut off, heads cut off, throats slit, feet cut off, whipping women in the middle of the road for not having a long enough dress. And just because you were ignorant enough not to completely read and have a good concept of what your religion entails, and your children decide to, you may just turn that child into a sociopath without even knowing it. Mind you, it would be something that they've came onto themselves just by interpreting the Bible one way, but these are some things that can happen. So that's pretty much why I started doing these videos. And I like to have debates with people that are of faith and come out and talk, because when they decide they want to argue with me about their religion, I end up knowing just a little bit more or a lot more about their faith than they do. And I tend to have a better grasp on their faith than they do. And I hope it makes them think, and I hope it does open their eyes. Anyway, Paco, hopefully that answers your questions, and if you ever have any other questions, just shoot me another video message, or if you want a video made on a certain subject, let me know. I'm always up to suggestions. So anyway, peace, Paco. It's nice talking to you.